an occupation here at the house, and I'm just showing you just how far they've got with the staircase which leads up to the lounge, bedroom and kitchen. As you can see over the back there, that looks directly into what will become a basement window. And we just go down here, and they've stripped all of the rendering in most places. Some of it just will not budge, and now they're applying a wire mesh which will be cemented over. And if we just wander around the back here, you can see where they've ripped out the staircase. And this leads into another room. Well, in fact, where we just walked through will also be a room. So this is the existing staircase which is going to be replaced. They're rebuilding the wall to secure it. And it is all starting to look good. It is mass chaos in my life at the moment, as you can appreciate. There's just so much going on here, and everybody's hard at work. But yeah, it's coming on. They've enlarged this opening to give more light into the basement room, of course. And of course, where we're standing here, to the left will be a storage shed, and to the right will be a storage shed. All this wood here that you can see is absolutely rotten. All that's got to be taken out and replaced. The fencing here, the panelling, all that's going to be taken out. Again, that's rotten. We're preserving the pillars that are supporting the staircase to the roof. They are within the fabric of the building, and they're period to this particular part of the region. So yes, it's all starting to look good. There's a very much great deal of work yet to be done. I'll take you down to the back of the house. And here they provided like a drainage ditch, because for some reason the water comes off the mountain and it flows through here. And they've applied mesh here, as you can see, which will be rendered over, which will of course strengthen the back wall of the house. So all the walls are going to be strengthened. And what we're left with, I say it flows through here, we've got the corner of this house which is completely derelict. Our idea now, the cost of renovating this is just going to be sky high and quite ridiculous in cost. So a general idea at the moment is to actually build it up to about here and retain that as a wall, and actually create inside of this building a walled garden for guests. Inside the walled garden we've got plenty of timber here and brick spare. Inside of this will be seating and covering against the weather, so they'll have seating with a roof. There's a lot of stone in here we can use, and stone is very expensive, so if you like, it's an asset that we can use. There's a cat over the back there watching what we're doing. But this will make a very, very pretty small walled garden for guests who are staying here. As far as the main project is concerned, which is the replastering of the outside of the house and the walls, and the restoration of the basement into an apartment, we have agreed to a contract date of July for full completion. The next part, of course, is going to be after that the barn, and this is probably going to be an important building in the summer months. It is of considerable size, and it is absolutely perfect for outside dining, seating, recreation, relaxation. But again, there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. This has been dug over, the stone has been put in. This is going to be have a wire mesh again and will be concreted over the surface, and this will continue all the way through the rest of the barn. We're still going to use the building for timber storage, so all of this timber, as we work through, will be moved around a great deal, unfortunately. But when it's all completed, the timber will probably go against the wall over the far end, which will also provide some soundproofing. And it should look really, really nice. I mean, this is not just the end of the estate, there's a lot more to it. And if we go out here through this barn door, we're now looking at our rear garden. This year I would love to have done something with regard to growing crops. I've only just started trimming the grass. As you can imagine, it's a huge task, but we're slowly getting there. And if we continue down here, I'm on the neighbour's land at the moment. My land is this grassed area, as you can see. I say we've only been in there a few days, so there's still a lot more to be done. I don't think the strimmer is going to be man enough for the project, but for now it'll have to do. All of this is going to be cut and levelled, and the grass is going to be maintained, hopefully get it rolled, because this land was ploughed at one point. Even on this land next door you can feel rough ridges. We would like to turn this into a camping area. At the bottom, I think I mentioned previously that we had might be a stream, but in fact it's a drainage ditch, and it's for the water which flows directly from the mountains and goes through a trench that I showed you earlier and eventually ends up in this quagmire. At some point someone set light to the reeds, but what I would hope to do here in the future, because the land beyond this, which you can't see at the moment, beyond those reeds on the other side, up to the back wall of that house, we believe is part of the estate. We need to get that confirmed by the Mayor's office, but it's a considerable stretch of land that we actually own. So yeah, we're really pleased, but we know in order to make this work, a great deal of effort has yet to go into it. But we're getting there, and that's the important thing, isn't it? Just walk around a bit and give you an idea of the view around here. A lot of people keep animals here. It's just a beautiful part of the world to be in. And when you look over the back there, those houses look almost medieval. Sadly, some of them are beyond redemption. To restore them would cost a huge amount of money. I mean, on the property that we are in at the moment, I won't go into the cost, but put it this way, it would have been far cheaper to have bought a piece of land like this and built a new house on it. But frankly, it's not the same as living in a period property. And that's essentially what we wanted. We wanted to be able to enjoy the benefits of living in a traditional Transylvanian property. And I really hate modern housing. So for the cost of that, I think and I hope it's going to be a worthwhile venture. So yes, that's the back. Just one other project we've got in mind, because we're going to have an excess of stone, in fact tons of stone. I'm thinking of building a rockery at some point, if we can get the time to do it. Let's get back in here. I actually get lost finding the entrance to the barn. Here we are. Just secure the latch here. Okay, we wander through. Now this section of stone wall belongs to my next door neighbour. We are going to approach him and ask him if he's happy for us to repair his wall by replacing all the missing stone, building it up to at least 2.5 meters, and of course getting rid of this awful wire fencing. The property next door is empty, and replacing this all with a stone wall with the materials that we have. So yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to. All this rubble that you can see in front of you, well, that's going to end up in the base of the concreting area inside the barn. And this is the rubbish that I managed to pull out the other day from the grass before I trimmed it. All this old metal work is going to have to be disposed of. But there's still a lot of reusable timber here, which will obviously be of benefit if we can build the outside seated areas with coverings. I mean, looking at this, let me take you into Juana's room. This was the shell of a building that I showed you when we first moved here, or when we first bought the property rather. We're using it as temporary storage at the moment. I don't know if you can see this very clearly. In this corner here, this is my old computer desk. Hoping to put the computer desk in the corner with the filing cabinet, and where I can process my own videos. At the moment I'm using a very powerful laptop, but it's not the same. We need lighting. We've got a temporary light there, but we need a couple of lights in here just to give the extra illumination. And this is Juana's wash basin, tumble dryer and washing machine. Of course she's very, very pleased that she's got this space. We simply couldn't accommodate it inside the house, unfortunately. It's a big house, but it has 2 really huge rooms, and it's got a beautiful timber framed roof with these big stout beams that you can see. It's a really attractive room actually. So yeah, it's looking good, but it really is a lot of work, an awful lot of work that needs to be done. So yes, that's an update at the moment. I won't show you around the house just yet. I want us to get sorted out inside, and once we've done that we can take you on a guided tour. Once we've got the furniture out and displayed properly and the pictures, it'll give you a feeling of what we're trying to generate as far as the image of the property. It's a shame about this stone building, but unfortunately needs must, and it will still be put to some use if we can turn that into a walled garden. And the men are having their lunch. So yeah, that's it. And there's Paul. He's the only one who speaks English. Say hello to Facebook and YouTube. He's actually going back to England. He's actually got a British driving licence. Yeah. Because he's lived and worked there before. So yeah, this is looking really good. We go to the front of the house. This is going to be our next big project. The basement. It's got a high roof in here, so it's perfect for accommodation, but it just requires a lot of work. And half our life is actually trapped here in boxes at the moment. And over there is a spinning wheel, which we hope to put out as an exhibit in here. And this room, essentially, when it's finished, is going to reflect, I think, Transylvanian life in a traditional sense. And here is Poppy. Poppy has adapted very well to the environment, haven't you, Poppy? Say hello. Poppy, say hello. No, too much going on here. Come on, Poppy, let's go. Poppy, come on, let's go upstairs, come on. Poppy is a good girl. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today. So it gives you an idea of how far we are at with the external renovation. Come on, Poppy, indoors. And the rest will follow soon.